My expectations were low, but holy shit. It went way lower than I expected. The U.S. men's national team roster's out for the September camp. And before anyone calls this an overreaction, we're going to go player by player. Pete will be here for a little bit because he's also going to do a breakdown on his new channel because the first one got hacked because he was trying to sell crypto. We know he's a crypto bro. But here's what you need to know before you call this an overreaction. We are less than a year away from the 2026 World Cup. We only have 4 camps left. I'm not counting Camp Cupcake. That doesn't count. We only have 4 camps left. So you cut this one out, there are 3 more camps. That's it. It's like what? 6 games. 6 freaking games before the World Cup roster's called up. And looking at this roster right here, I wouldn't say 100% going to waste this camp, but it looks like we're about to waste the freaking camp. We're about to shit the pants right here. We're about to I just don't see how much we can gain from this. Honestly, Pulisic took the summer off. He might as well have taken this camp off at this point if you're going to play with these guys. But Pete, how are we doing?
I have no words. I mean, I have a lot of words on my video, but I'm just absorbing right now. I mean, where do you start?
Well,
where do you start with this?
I can start by saying 2 things, 2 pieces of information that we have gathered here together and calculated very quickly. We're going to mention names that were left out. Okay, players that are healthy that were left out, and we're going to tell you right now there's 22 players here. One is still going to be announced. We don't know who this player is. And I'm going to be real with you. It could be freaking Lionel Messi right now. I don't think it would matter. The roster's still shit. Even if Messi was American and we could call him up. 12 players out of the 22 are MLS players. So 60% of the roster is an MLS roster. And again, this is the A roster. This is not a B roster. This is Pochettino's A roster. So if the World Cup was today, I'm assuming he would have called up this because we have to assume he's calling up the best he can, besides a few names that obviously are coming back from injury. So players that are not here because they just came back from injury, Anthony Robinson from Fulham, Ricardo Pepi from PSV, and Balogun from Monaco. Outside of that, all other players are playing and they're healthy. And I'm assuming the decision was Pochettino's decision just because he thought it was the smart thing to do. Matt Turner didn't make the roster. It's not like I'm going to go crazy for that one, but it actually doesn't make sense. Joe Scally didn't make the roster, and we're going to go through who the right back options are, but Joe Scally is out. A consistent starter in the Bundesliga that has looked perfectly fine in one of the best leagues in the world was not called in. Mark McKenzie, 2 games so far in France, 2 clean sheets for Toulouse. Apparently, he's not good enough. He's worse than Blackman. He's worse than, well, at least Nokai Banks made it. So we got that going for us. Weston McKennie doesn't make the roster. And just for McKennie, we'll talk about it in a second. It could make sense to leave McKennie out sometimes due to his attitude. The problem is not leaving McKennie out, is who you replace him with. And then when you look at that monstrosity of a midfield that I'm looking at right now, it doesn't make sense to leave McKennie out. But McKennie's out. Johnny, a starter for Atletico Madrid, that as far as I know, he's not injured. He didn't make the roster. We're just that good, Pete. We don't need an Atletico Madrid starter. Oh, but he's been crap for the national team. Well, the World Cup's coming up, and maybe you want to try to persist on him a little bit more.
But also, this roster has been crap for the national team. If we're going to apply that logic, let's apply it across the board. Nathan Harriel couldn't defend against.
Pete froze. I don't know who he's going to talk about Nathan Harriel, but he doesn't have good things to say about Nathan Harriel. We also saw a highlight compilation from Kevin Sullivan at age 15 torching Nathan Harriel in practice. Sure, Kevin Sullivan's a talented kid, but the right back of the U.S. national team should not be getting torched by any 15-year-old not named Lamine Yamal when he was 15. Other players that didn't make the roster, Yunus Musa didn't make the roster. Brandon Aronson didn't make the roster. Now, Aronson, there's a case to be made that he shouldn't be in the roster, but I'm just saying, is Brandon Aronson not better than some of the options that we're seeing here in the midfield? Sean Zawadzki, right? De La Torre at this point. It does feel like we don't have many midfielders there and attackers. So the one player that's missing, because they're going to bring 23 and this list has 22, the one player that's missing is probably a midfielder or a forward. Another player that's missing is Haji Wright from Coventry. He has 3 goals in 3 games in the EFL Championship. He is not in the roster. He could have very well been in that forwards list right there. Aiden Morris, that's been very good in the beginning of the championship there for Middlesbrough. He's had 2 man-at-the-match performances, didn't make the roster. Apparently, Sebastian Berhalter, De La Torre, McGlynn, and Zawadzki are all better than Aiden Morris, even though Aiden Morris was better than them even when he played in MLS. Right? Tanner Tessman, that's been actually, I watched one of his 2 games for Lyon so far, and the other one I watched the highlight compilation, all of his touches, and Tanner Tessman has looked pretty good for Lyon. Steady, looked good on the ball, great positioning, good reading of the game. He's been starting for them in a double pivot midfield in a 4-2-3-1, and he's looked quite good. So he's another one that didn't make the roster, Tanner Tessman. So that's the list. Matt Turner, Joe Scally, Mark McKenzie, McKennie, Johnny Cardoso, Musa, Aronson, Tessman, Aiden Morris, and Haji Wright all did not make the roster. And then obviously Pepe, Balogun, and A-Rob are just coming back from injury. So it was kind of like expected. Now, Jordan say, man, regardless of the roster, YouTube guys are going to chirp every time. So, Jordan, you are a straight up liar. And the problem with lying with anyone that has videos on YouTube is that you can literally go actually to Berhalter's, all of Berhalter's rosters in the second cycle. Every stream was saying, yeah, that's more or less the roster that we were expecting. That's more or less the roster that we wanted. There were other issues with Berhalter, but what you're saying is a straight up lie. Okay, so don't be fake news here. Don't start lying. If you're gonna lie, back it with something. Well, you can't really back a lie, right? Because a lie is a lie. But literally, the streams are there, Jordan. If you're gonna put out a lie, just go check it out yourself, and you'll see that what you're saying is simply not true. It sucks. It sucks that I have to even tell you that, but there we have it. Okay. Because like I said, lately we've been getting a lot of hate again because the MLS crowd comes out of nowhere and they get pissed about it. And then there you have it. All right, let's go here. Bobby, and we're going to go through the roster in a second here. By the way, everyone, Pete's new channel is in the description of this video, and he's going to release a roster breakdown video later today. Not at the 11 Yanks, 11 Yanks Soccer. So the channel that's in the description of this video is the one that you should be checking out. Similar names, but not the same channel. It's a different logo too. Bobby Not Brown, Don Garber made the call. The MLS quota is real. QSMNT stand up. I will not comment on the MLS quota. We'll comment on individual players. Then we'll talk about that later. Edgar Castillo saying Pochettino's an MLS marketing puppet. Simple as that. A clown. I'll say, Pete, for that super chat specifically, I'll say this, and I don't know if you're going to agree with me. I can't say Pochettino's an MLS marketing puppet, but I also can't say that he's not. Is that fair?
Well, if the preponderance of the evidence, if this was a court case, where would the preponderance of the evidence lie? If you had to decide if he was or wasn't, the preponderance of the evidence would lie in that he is.
He would go to prison. Yeah, he would go to prison.
Yeah, like you could get a 12-man jury to be like, yeah, this guy's an MLS puppet.
Yeah. Or well, he could also just be an imbecile. There's that option too. TS looked at tickets for the game in New Jersey yesterday. $200 a pop. $600 for my girl and her son. We will do something else, I think. Empty seats loading. $200 to watch this roster that we haven't even started to talk about yet. I don't blame you, TS. Don't go.
Don't go.
Dinger is saying, guys, I'm crashing out. Send help. You'll be okay. Like we always are. Aren't we used to this by now? We've been humiliated for like the past 24 months. We're used to it by now. The Cubo Maker saying expecting a goleada from Japan. Goleada just means, Pete, I don't know if you know, goleada just means we're gonna lose by a lot of goals, like 4 goals plus. Ghost Card 21, Jesus Christ. The only person who can save us now is GOAT, BBL, Shaq Moore. Joking aside, can't wait for the World Cup. We're going to get clapped. Honestly, Shaq Moore is probably better than Nathan Harriel, or at least he was better than Nathan Harriel. Loser 97 saying Japan and Korea about to cook us with this roster. We'll talk about Japan and Korea next week before the games, because remember, guys, fluke games can happen. They can have a bad performance. Also, South Korea hasn't really been hot themselves lately, so that's important. Jeff Carey saying, I'm very sorry about the hack, Pete. That really sucks. Jeff Carey.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully, I'll get it back at some point. Thank you, Jeff. But in the meantime, go follow 11 Yank Soccer. We will keep doing coverage there until I get it back.
Yeah, when you weren't here, I put this comment here because it's so stupid, and I told him to back it. He can go back to our roster live streams for Berhalter in the second cycle, where we were looking at Berhalter's rosters, and it was like, yeah, that's more or less the best players we got. And we
Didn't this
actually
guy say he's not even American? Isn't he English? He said something in the chat about him
who
being English. This
who
Jordan Vatrino, whatever his name is.
uh
I saw it a while back. It was a while back, though.
no, I didn't see it. Let's see. Aaron Alexander saying, let's be honest, Pochettino's not in control of the roster. This is probably an MLS quota to push and market MLS teams, justify in time for the World Cup. Yeah, but at the end of the day, he's the one that is accepting. If it's true, he's the one accepting being a puppet. So, I mean, we can't like not criticize him, right? He's the one that accepted. Oh, if he didn't accept it, someone else would. Okay, but he was the one that accepted it, and he's making a lot of money to do this. So, yeah. Let's go through this roster. Let's go through it. Goalkeeper, and Pete, you stay for as long as you want because I know you have a whole video to make too.
Yeah, I'm gonna get going here soon. I have so much to say.
Goalkeepers: Roman Celentano from FC Cincinnati. I don't think he's the solution to anything. Matt Freese from New York City FC, rightfully so, should be there. And then Jonathan Klinsmann gets a look. He plays in the second division of Italy. I haven't really seen him play there. I've seen some highlights, and he's looked good in highlights. But again, players can look good when it's just highlights. I don't think Klinsmann is a bad call, mainly because of the uncertainty. I'm assuming Pochettino's team watched him and they saw something. He also
Yeah,
was with U.S. youth national teams in the past. So,
yeah, I mean, I haven't seen the guy, so it's hard to speak on him. It's like that's not the issue with this roster. The goalkeepers are whatever.
yeah, and I guess like the main goalkeeper that got his spot in the Gold Cup, he's there. I don't know why Matt Turner's not there. Maybe Pochettino wanted to give a look at these other two guys. I don't know, but I thought Matt Turner should have been there. But let's go to the defenders. It's kind of funny that they put Max Arfsten at the defenders list when this guy can do anything but defend.
Island nations.
No, yeah, like he'll dude will defend. Yeah, this dude cannot defend, but he's in the defenders list. Max Arfsten. One good call up right here. Noah Kai Banks from Augsburg. He's a U20 center back. He's a backup at Augsburg in the Bundesliga, but when he's played, he's looked fairly comfortable in the Bundesliga. Very good on the ball, very good ball playing defender, can dribble into space, can pick a pass. So Noah Kai Banks, props to Pochettino for calling him up there. But again, one right and 25 wrongs doesn't make up for it. And then we got Tristan Blackman from Vancouver Whitecaps making the roster. That one was leaked by Thomas Mueller like 2 or 3 days ago. I remember Blackman was a little bit of a right back for LAFC, and he looked very mediocre. I don't really watch the Vancouver Whitecaps very consistently. I did watch them in the CONCACAF Champions Cup final against Cruz Azul, which, by the way, Cruz Azul is not the greatest team in the world from Liga MX. And it was bad. And Tristan Blackman played that game, the full game. And it was bad. And he was one of the problems on defense. So if he's doing well in MLS, good for him. But again, when push comes to shove, he shat the bed with all the other Vancouver Whitecap players. He was in that game. And he's called in for the national team, a 29-year-old MLS lifer that I don't really think he had a breakout season until he was like 25 or something. Serginho Dest. What is it?
Classic pay-to-play kid.
Yeah, but pay to play his way to the national team somehow. Serginho Dest is back from PSV. Good call up, but also not really a good call up, just an obvious call up. How do you not call up Dest? Yeah. Alex Freeman from Orlando City is here. And this is where it's weird because you get Alex Freeman and Nathan Harriel that are two right backs. So fine, maybe he sees Dest as a left back, right? And then Alex Freeman is the young, promising right back as well, and definitely better than Nathan Harriel. But why is Nathan Harriel there and Joe Scally not? Can someone explain that to me?
I don't think anyone can, except
No,
that it doesn't make sense.
just someone explain it to. Just give me a reason. No,
There is
nothing.
none. There's
No.
nothing.
Okay, so there's nothing. Nathan Harriel is there. Nathan Harriel is actually not a mediocre right back. He's actually a bad right back, in my opinion. So he makes the roster. Nathan Harriel again, and he looked bad even when he played in the Gold Cup. It was one game, right? He played one game.
Played one game and he looked so bad he never played again, and yet somehow he's back.
Okay, there he is, Nathan Harriel. Tim Ream from Charlotte FC, and then Chris Richards from Crystal Palace. I wouldn't have many issues with those two in the roster. Everyone, if you just tuned in, make sure to drop a like in the video. I know you all hate the roster, but don't hate the stream. Okay, just drop a like right now. Help us get to 400 or 500 likes. Midfielders, look, and if you guys thought the defenders were bad, look at the midfielders. It is way worse. The midfield might be the worst part of this team. Tyler Adams, and pray for Tyler Adams with who he's going to play with. You got to pray for Tyler right there. Tyler Adams in the midfield, and then he's going to play alongside Sebastian Berhalter, Luca De La Torre, Diego Luna, Jack McGlynn, and the almighty Sean Zawadzki. That's because Pochettino left at home Weston McKennie, Johnny Cardoso, Yunus Musa, Tanner Tessman, and Aiden Morris. All these guys were left at home. I'm not going to lie to you. Here's a name, Pete, that I didn't really want in the roster, but I honestly think he's probably better than at least half of these names that I'm seeing here. Gianluca Busso is probably better than these guys, besides Tyler.
Or you just call Gio Reyna at this point. I know Gio Reyna's had plenty of his own problems, but he's still better than every single midfielder on that roster.
Musa, too, that's been very mediocre. He's better than these guys. But again, this is the midfield. And here's the question that we have to ask. If Pulisic doesn't create goal-scoring opportunities, who from this midfield is going to do jack shit?
No one.
Tyler's going to be defending for his life there. He's not really a guy to really create goal-scoring opportunities. Diego Luna might do so if we play Grenada or we play Guatemala. I don't know how Luna... I'm not expecting a lot from him against South Korea and Japan, especially after his performances against Switzerland, Turkey, and Mexico. Sean Zawadzki, God, I don't even know what to expect from this guy at this point. Sebastian Berhalter will put up a lot of fight and some good set pieces. You got that then. Some good set pieces. He's our new Kellen Acosta. And then De La Torre has been an okay depth piece in the past. That's about it. Now the forwards. Let's talk about the forwards. So Pepe and Balogun probably not available because they are coming back from injury. And remember, out of this list, there's still one player that will be added. There's a mysterious player that will be added. And no, it's not Jackson Yeo. I can confirm Jackson Yeo has not been called in. So we have Damian Downs from Southampton, which I'm not going to lie, Pete. I didn't watch Damian Downs in the second Bundesliga, but I watched him in the EFL Championship. It's still early, but he hasn't looked good for Southampton so far.
I don't understand why Haji Wright is not there then.
That's what I don't get.
Sargent and Wright. Like, what?
Yeah, Haji's actually looking good in the EFL Championship. But Damian Downs is there. Haji Wright is not. Christian Pulisic is back. Very well rested. I heard he had great vacation. Very good vacation right there. Josh Sargent gets another opportunity, but good luck to Sargent getting any service with this team besides Christian Pulisic. That's the funny part. This is Sargent. I'm not making excuses for him, Pete, but listen to this. Sargent is going to get an opportunity now against two good opponents, right? Not Guatemala or Trinidad and Tobago. And he's going to have to play with these scrubs next to him besides like Pulisic, Weah, and Tyler, I guess. Good luck to Sargent. He's going to probably not look great, and then people are going to say, don't come back.
He's going to get zero service, and then they're going to say, well, he's not good. It's going to be like, did you see his midfield?
Christian Pulisic, Josh Sargent from Norwich, Tim Weah from Marseille, and Alex Zendejas from Club America. Alex Zendejas has been playing well in Liga MX for whatever that's worth. So, fellas, that's the roster. We have 4 camps left, including this one till the World Cup, and we're about to throw this down the drain. We're about to just. I don't know what will happen. We're gonna do a preview for the South Korea game. We're gonna do a preview for the Japan game. I don't know, man. Pete, do you want to share any thoughts before I do a quick recap for anyone that tuned in right now? Because I know you have to go because you got to make the video for your new channel. That
Yeah,
the
I
link is
gotta
in
go.
the
But
description.
real quick, I just say this: anybody who's getting tired of this national team and doesn't want to watch anymore, I don't blame you. Like, it's okay to feel apathy. It's okay to feel like angry. It's okay to be like, fuck this. My time and attention is worth more than this dog shit that we're being served on a platter. We'll still cover it at least until the World Cup. Who knows after that? But if you're feeling just tired of it all and like there's better things to do with your life than follow this shit show of a federation and their Argentine lapdog, I don't blame you at all. I really don't.
Do you think Pochettino might be tanking for the #1 draft pick?
Maybe they told him that, oh, it's America. If you lose, you get the best player in the world. So
Yeah,
if you lose this game, you're going to get Messi,
you're gonna
you know?
draft LeBron James. He's tanking. He's just tanking for the #1 draft pick. That's the only explanation for this roster. Guys, I'm gonna let Pete go, and I'm gonna quickly recap the roster with y'all. Make sure to drop a like in the video if you haven't already. If you just tuned in, this is the roster that will play Japan and South Korea. Pete, your video will be out in a couple hours. All
Yeah.
right, I'll
See
let
you
you go
guys
there.
later.
Yeah, the link's in the description, everyone, for Pete's new channel. So everyone, we're gonna go through here real quick. I'm gonna once again recap the players that are not here, and then I'm gonna go through the super chats. Okay. Matt Turner was left out. Joe Scally was left out. Mark McKenzie was left out. Weston McKennie was left out. Johnny Cardoso was left out. Musa was left out. Brendan Aronson was left out. Tanner Tessman was left out. Aiden Morris was left out. Haji Wright was left out. And then Pepe Balogun and A-Rob were also left out, but they were mainly due to coming back from injury. So a lot of big snubs. It's not a good roster. It's a very, 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 very bad roster. Naruto has a good point here. He's saying the last person on the roster might be Luca Coleosho. Maybe his switch is still being filed right now. And listen, I think he's a player that we probably should recruit, Luca Coleosho. But I have a question for everyone here in the chat. What has Luca Coleosho done over the past 12 to 18 months to deserve a U.S. men's national team call-up, besides being a dual national? What has Luca Coleosho done over the past 12 to 18 months to deserve a call-up? He was worse than Brendan Aronson in the EFL Championship. What has he done? So you want to call him up? Fine, call him up. And they're saying, oh, Tillman, yeah, Malik Tillman is injured. Malik Tillman is injured. So Tillman is not really Pochettino's fault. Again, he's done nothing. So want to call him up? Do it. But again, going through the super chats before we end the stream, Aaron Alexander saying, let's be honest, Pochettino's not in control of this roster. They're probably MLS score. I already read this one. Well, like I said, it doesn't matter if he's in control or not. He accepted this role. They didn't put a gun to his head. They actually put $6 million on the table. That's why he accepted it. Antonio Yacht saying, the roster feels like a humiliation ritual for Pulisic for snubbing the Gold Cup call-up. Morris, Johnny, so many other names. Yeah, I mean, Pulisic should have rejected this one. Look at this team. S27, the United States will not get out of the group in 2026. If we bring this roster, it is possible to get grouped. If we bring this roster, it is possible. I'm hoping by the time the World Cup comes up, this is not the roster. I hope. Michael Higuera is saying, I think you guys are letting the bad roster overshadow the good. Also, as a San Diego FC fan, I'd rather have Bombino than Luca De La Torre. Well, he's younger, promising. Luca De La Torre is who he is, right? We don't have to test him anymore. If you want to bring him as a roster depth piece for the World Cup, so be it, but he is who he is. If you're going to experiment, at least experiment more young players. Like for example, Noah Kai Banks, that's a good call. That was a good call. UB saying, where the hell is Son? He's supposed to win us the World Cup. Yeah, the mayor of LA is probably disappointed. Jeff Carey is saying, Tack, I love your hate and your latest nude pics. This roster is very hard to understand. There's no nude pics, Jeff. There ain't any, unfortunately for you, but fortunately for all of us. No one needs to see that shit. Hooligan is saying, never thought I would miss Greg Berhalter. Pochettino's setting us back. I'll tell you one thing. Pochettino's rosters have been worse than Greg Berhalter. Shaitan28 saying, MLS have something to do with Pete's YouTube issue? No, they do not. MLS did not do anything to Pete's YouTube channel, but his new channel is in the description of this video. Burnt Toast. Pretty cool name. Hear me out. Even though we're close to the World Cup, Pochettino's slowly integrating A-team guys with competitive MLS guys and accountable culture created from the Gold Cup, and will continue to slowly integrate them leading into the World Cup, or he's an idiot. I'm going with he's an idiot. I'm going to go with he's an idiot. I think sometimes in life, I see this a lot in politics. Where people, to cope, they will go on and their favorite supreme leader will make some very idiotic political decision. And instead of people just admitting, it's like, oh shit, I voted for this moron and he's going to be doing something stupid. And this is not really an attack on Trump, on Biden, because I think both of them do a lot of stupid shit. And the ones before them too. But what happens is when these people, the supreme leaders that people look at them as God sometimes, when they do something stupid, instead of someone just admitting, it's like, oh my God, this guy did something stupid, they cope by saying, no, this is all part of the plan. He has this plan. So he did this, so he fucks up on that, and that goes down, the domino falls, the watermelon falls on that freaking chimpanzee there, and then the zebra will eat that banana, and then blah, blah, blah will happen, and then ultimately the plan works, right? It's just always like that when it comes to politics, but we see that a lot just in general. So, for example, Pochettino, that is what we're thinking. It's like always that 4D chess nonsense, right? It's like 4D chess. Oh, he messed up, but it's all part of the plan. I don't think there's a well-elaborated plan like that. I think literally he thinks this is the best roster for now, and he called this up. He might be sending a message, but that's literally what always happens. There's always a mother-licking plan, except for there isn't. There isn't a plan. That's the problem. Matt Lab is saying, not an A team. It's starting 11 and 10 tryouts. Matt, I like your optimistic way of seeing this roster, but I don't agree. I don't think that's true. Eric Leach saying, honest question, isn't it better to stack the team with MLS guys who've at least played with or against each other in similarly at a system rather than our golden boys we have? In my opinion, the most important thing, obviously desire, and they all say they have desire. But again, the MLS guys had the Gold Cup, and they looked really bad throughout the Gold Cup. And we lost the Gold Cup to Mexico, and we didn't look good. We probably would have lost to Canada in the semifinals if they didn't shit the bed early. So they haven't. So if we were like guns blazing out there with the MLS guys, I would say, yeah, okay, give them a shot. But they haven't looked good either. They haven't really looked good either. So I don't know. I still think we should try to integrate the most talented players. Okay, Trey saying, all I wanted was to be excited for the roster. Pochettino is presumably a reasonable man. What is going on with his decisions? Placating MLS, is that it? I don't know what's going on with his decisions, man. There's a few call-ups here that we get, but there's a lot of problematic call-ups here, and I don't know what he's doing. Adam is saying, like the Klinsmann pick, hopefully he gets game. Yeah, like I said, I don't have many thoughts on Jonathan Klinsmann, the player. I haven't been watching him in the Serie B, the second division of Italy. I've heard good things about him there, and I watched highlights. He looked good, but I don't have any positive or negative comments on it. For him, it's just like, if he's here, give him a game. Let's see how he does. I don't have many thoughts there. Scythen is saying, I think Luna can be a creative midfield option. Can he be a creative midfield option against good opponents? That's the big question. Against Guatemala, yeah, he can create, he can score. I'm just saying Mexico, Switzerland, Turkey, can he be a creative option against these teams? And in this case, against South Korea and Japan. I guess this camp will be a good test for Diego Luna. Falcon is saying, what would happen if we win the friendlies but play like crap? 50% MLS roster in the World Cup, is that bad, that good? I will cheer for the U.S. men's national team anyway. I'm going to cheer for the U.S. men's national team in the World Cup regardless of who is there. right? I care about who's there, but if he calls up this roster in the World Cup, so be it, right? Once the World Cup starts, this is the roster we're going with. I'm going to root for them. Until then, I'll continue to be as critical as possible. And hopefully, I mean, I don't think it'll play a role, but hopefully it does. We'll see. Look, about the friendlies are not competitive games. So it's not just about the result, it's about how we play. So winning against South Korea and Japan and playing like crap, winning with a lucky goal, that won't mean anything to me. How we play also matters, right? Are we solid defensively? Are we creating good goal scoring opportunities? Are we outplaying them? Are we controlling possession? Are we defending well against these two good teams? At least Japan's a very good team. South Korea is okay. We'll see. MB saying, does the MLS quota go down for the World Cup? I hope so. I'll just say this. I don't think there's an MLS quota, just to make that clear. I think that's just like taking the fault out of Pochettino. G-Boy 213 saying, I started watching soccer because of the U.S. men's national team in 2014, then MLS. 10 years later, MLS is fake. USMNT, I don't find joy watching anymore. Every weekend I live to watch Liverpool, some business model by USSF. This is an interesting one because they all talk about supporting local, right? And G-Boyd clearly supported local, right? He became a U.S. men's national team fan in 2014, the World Cup in Brazil. Where we got out of a very tough group with Ghana, Portugal, and Germany. Germany that went on to win the World Cup. And he became an MLS fan. Now he doesn't like MLS, doesn't enjoy the U.S. men's national team. And he's watching Liverpool. He became a Liverpool fan. So MLS and U.S. soccer are losing fans. They literally are. And I know some people from MLS, for example, would try to cope saying they're not losing fans. MLS lately has 100% been losing fans. They lost the casuals with the Apple deal. I don't think they care about that too much. They obviously got a little bit of a boost with Messi, but those are not MLS fans. Those are Messi fans and some of the South Koreans watching Son. But they have been losing part of their fan base, even though people won't admit that, unfortunately. Noah Correa is saying, honestly, looking at the roster, a lot of these guys here are expected to start for the World Cup outside of the obvious names. I mean, sorta, right? We are missing guys like obviously Anthony Robinson, Pepe Balogun. McKennie could be a star in the World Cup. Johnny, if he gets it going for the national team, could be a star in the World Cup. I think Haji can fight for a spot. Tessman could fight for a spot. So we're missing a lot of guys, Noah. We're missing a lot of important guys. Jeff Carey saying, congratulations to Taylor and Kelsey. Tack and me. No, Jeff. No, not me and you. But Taylor Swift is getting married. Congratulations to them. It's Travis Kelsey or Trevor. Travis or Trevor. Something with a T, Kelsey and Taylor Swift. Congratulations to them. They're getting married. And I'm happy for them. Even though I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, I don't like her songs. I really don't like Taylor Swift songs. I don't know why. I tried listening to it once. I don't think they're good. I just don't think they're good. Okay. I'm sorry. Nothing against Taylor, the person. I don't even know Taylor, the person. The songs are not good in my opinion. It's a strong like 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10 at best. But everyone, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to drop a like before you go in this stream. Help us hit 1,000 likes. Also, if you want to purchase any Umbro products, we became Umbro ambassadors. So if you use the link and promo code in the description of this video, the Umbro promo code and that we have and link, you will get 20% off any purchase anytime. So you can even share that with other people. The link is in the description. They have some cool jerseys. They also have stuff that you might need, just shorts. So take advantage of the 20% discount. Link and promo code are in the description of this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about this roster and give me your rating from 1 to 10. What do you rate this roster? I'll give it like a 3 because Noah Kai Banks is there. There's a few interesting names, right? Pulisic's back. Tyler's there. Richards is there. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys later. We have an episode tomorrow rating all the USMNT transfers. Right, tomorrow we release that episode. And then on Monday, we have the USMNT abroad. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. See you guys soon. Okay, look at Poch's comments. Brian Scarcetta, whatever, posted. I'll check that in a second, right? Ciao. Bye-bye.